Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant and welcome back for more of Let's Play Pokémon SoulSilver. Last time we made our way across Route 44 over to the Ice Path, connecting Mahogany Town to our next city. And there's a jinx in that little capture thing. I forget what you call those snapshot looking things that are supposed to tell you about what it's like inside the next dungeon! And there are icy paths that we can't walk across with stable footing, so we slide all over the place, and for whatever reason I'm not running into any Pokemon. That's weird. Hi Cameron! I haven't talked to you in a few months. Let's take a picture. I also realized it's kind of silly to have Lupus walking around out here because it's really cold. And fire types don't like the cold, right Lupus? But he loves me enough that it doesn't matter. Love conquers all, even cold. Maybe. And it looks like there's an item in that rock over there. I want that item! Item, please! There are so many items hidden around here that are going to be really difficult for me to find because I'm no good at puzzles. Now you can try to walk across this way, but that man will stop you to get the item below you. And we see our first wild Pokemon, and here is a Swinub! We saw these in the gym. Ice ground types, really interesting typing, and they got a really interesting evolution in the 4th generation. I think I've mentioned before, I'm really tempted to use one of those, but I like my team as it is, so I'll probably not use them. But this man's not going to let us go until we go get the item down there. And in case you're wondering, yes, that item is required to complete the game. But I will keep my repel off until I run into everything that I'd at least like to show off. And there are a couple of Pokemon around here that are fairly interesting that I would like to show off. HM7 Waterfall! Fairly powerful physical water-type move. Not as powerful as Surf, but if you have a physical attacker, it may prove to be more useful than Surf. It depends on whatever you feel like, I suppose. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to give it to Crunch over Surf. I'd have to do a calculation to see which one would be more powerful. But it is more helpful to have somebody who knows Surf, simply because you can't use Waterfall if you're not surfing to begin with. And a nice heal for me to sell. Of course, the standard Zubats and the standard glitchy graphics. But down here we have puzzles, and I'd probably like to put up a repel for these puzzles, but I still want to show off those Pokemon. Now the objective here is to move all of these boulders so that they go down those 4 holes. But you have to be careful not to move the boulders in places that you can't recover them, like corners. I do believe you can reset the puzzle. I'm not sure whether or not all of the boulders will reset if you exit and re-enter. I think once you send a boulder down into a hole, you're good, and you don't have to put it back there again, but don't quote me on that. I've never tried it. Just make sure wherever you push it, you have room to push it towards where you want to go. And there are 3 more boulders for us to go, and there's a really low encounter rate in here. I'm not complaining about it, but you know, I do have Pokemon I want to show off, and fairly low encounter rates isn't exactly going to help me out, but yeah, as you can see, that shadow over there is actually a boulder, and I'm going to be playing like this because it's annoying for you to watch, isn't it? Did I screw myself? I think I screwed myself here. Oh well. I suppose we'll go downstairs and reset the puzzle this way. So let's go all the way back up there to that ladder. I think we should slide down this way. And up the ladder. That should reset the puzzle. The only unfortunate thing is we're going to have to use strength again. But that's that, I suppose. I still really want to run into that one Pokemon I want to show off, but I mean, it's just about as rare as Lickitung was before, so I'm not exactly getting my hopes up in that department. But, you know, it's still something I want to show off, so even if I don't come across it before I leave, I'm still going to show it off. How do I get across? I think it's when you have to push this way in order to get around to push the other direction. Some of these can be kind of tricky if you've never done them before, especially if you're still running into wild encounters and you haven't put up a repel like I stupidly haven't yet. So let's see, 2 more boulders. This one I need to push correctly this time. And I'm still waiting to run into that thing. I think I wanted to push it this way, so I can actually move it off the wall, as opposed to it being stuck against the wall. Although I suppose not being able to see the sprites actually didn't help anything. So let's see, another one we have to push down in order to get around to push. And then we have one more to push down. Yeah, there's a really low encounter rate down here. I thought it would be much worse than it is, but... So there's one boulder up here for us to push and put in that hole, but we couldn't have done it before from over here, because we had to work our way back around the outside. So that's usually one you want to put into place before you move down here, but since we had to reset the puzzle, couldn't really help it. So now that we have that one in place, we can head down and grab our spoils. Because there are nice things down here, and I don't know about you, but I like nice things. Like this max potion, for instance. It's very nice. So let's see. I know we can get around here, but I want to make sure we get all the stuff before we leave. Carbos. Who would I use this on, I wonder? Or if we haven't maxed out our EVs yet. It's on the medicine, isn't it? Carbos, speed stat. I kind of need Duster to be fast, because he doesn't have much else going for him, in all honesty. So it can't hurt. I think that's it for items down here, though. Except that one. So we just run into the boulders that we pushed down. And there's our full heal, and we can continue on through the ice path. I guess you didn't need to push down that fourth one, it just granted you access to the potion. And let's switch over here so we don't have to hear the phone going off. If you have Rock Smash, you can go through there, but it's not too difficult to just walk around anyway. It's kind of silly they have that there. But you definitely want to swing by to pick up this Never Melt Ice, which raises the power of Ice-type moves 20%. So let's continue on our way. And, like I said, freakishly low encounter rate in here. Very, very strange. Now there's an item down there we want. I forget where to stand to get it. I want to say you stand somewhere in the middle, like over here to get it. No, gotta stand two further to the left. Does this annoy you when I have to deal with graphical glitches like this? But over here is TM72 Avalanche, a physical ice-type move. That if the opponent does you damage before you use it, its power is doubled. Where is it? TM40... 50... where was it? 72! Yep, doubles in power if you were attacked on that turn. I don't remember if it's a negative priority move, or if you can use it before your opponent can attack you, but it doubles in power if you're hit before you use it. So let's see, what else is over here? There is something really cool down there. And I went into this thinking I would be avoiding the ice puns as much as humanly possible. I suppose it was inevitable. But over there is something that we want. So let's push that boulder down there so we can stop ourselves against it and finally get to that item. So we'll push it down one. We'll get to the other side of this ice thing here. Slide our way over to the boulder. And pick ourselves up another vitamin. I wonder who needs the defense. Or is it... I forget what iron is. It's space defense. Who could use defense? I want to say Krako, but yeah, sure, why not? I can't think of anybody else I'd be using as a physical wall. His defense stat is pretty high. So let's push that up, make sure there aren't any items we're missing. And one more room to go. Although this may be where we were before. Yeah, this is where we first came in, and yet another vitamin! Man, so many vitamins, I forgot how many there were in here. Base attack stat. Sure, I love Duster too much. And I'm pretty sure there aren't any hidden items over here. So let's continue on. Oh, is that a Kimono Girl? It's not the same one, is it? Wait, how did you know my name if you're different? I don't even know if these are the same or different. They all know my name, they all recognize me, but they all seem different. Sure, I'll push you. And it looks like that's our way out. Unfortunately, we want that item over there, which means I'm going to be fumbling around like an idiot to get it. And I always forget how to get this, although I think I got it this time, which is absolutely amazing in and of itself. So we can head straight up here, work our way around the same way we pushed the Komono girl, and I can walk around like an idiot until I find the thing I wanted to show off. Now that I think about it, there are actually two I want to show off. This is the first one, a SoulSilver exclusive Delibird. It only learns one move, and that move can either do a base power of 40 damage, base power of 80, base power of 120, or heal the target for 80 HP, and that move is present. I'll switch out just for the sake of showing it off, I suppose, because I think anything I use from Duster will kill it, or anything I use from Lupus will probably kill it, so let's send in Krako. It can learn TM moves, but the only move it actually learns is Present. Bye, Delibird. A lot of people think this is like the Christmas Pokemon. I guess it kinda is, because it just gives you presents and stuff, which makes me feel really bad for knocking it out, but oh well. I'm in the second basement of the Ice Path, by the way. I wasn't sure if I could run into this on the ground floor or not, so I moved down 2 levels. Still one more to find, though. And there it is, the Ice Psychic type Jinx. We've seen these before, but I figured it was worth showing off that you can actually catch it here. And since we are in the Ice Path, and there are plenty of Ice types for us to catch, if you don't already have an Ice move, I'd highly recommend at least catching one of these and leveling it up, because Ice types are going to be very helpful in the next gym. But I'll meet you back out near the top of the Ice Path so we can get out of here. And it looks like we made it here with about 20 minutes to spare. To Blackthorn City. Why do I say 20 minutes to spare? Because there's somebody here that's only here on Saturdays, and the clock's about to turn over because it's almost midnight. So let's head on over and meet him immediately before he disappears because of all of the terrible frame rate. Hey there, Santos. Are you the last of the weak siblings we have to run into? We'll get the soft sand from you, which powers up ground-type moves. I don't remember if we've missed any. I'll have to double-check, but I think he is the last one. So let's check out all the places around here that there are to explore, and there are quite a few. Especially some of the really important people to talk to, but this woman is going to offer you the worst trade in Pokemon history. She wants a specific type of very rare Pokemon for somebody that we can find fairly easily. Obviously not taking that trade. Now this woman over here, if you max out your effort values with any of your Pokemon, she'll give you a ribbon. I don't think the ribbons do anything, except like badges of honor. Are there any items around the city as well? I do forget, they're like really nice places you could just stand out here next to the river by the mountain. Really cool scenery, but I don't think there are any items around here. Let's just talk to some guys. Yeah, I'd like to have my people at least get rid of Cut from Duster. I mean, good lord, how long is he gonna have Cut? This is the place you do it, and it's the last town in the game. I forget who's who. This is the move deleter. If you have any moves you want to get rid of, including HMs, talk to this guy. For instance, Cut. Cut sucks. So let's get rid of it. I do have a move in mind I'd like it to learn. I think I'll leave Strength on him, though, because it'll be helpful to have somebody with Strength, even though at this point it would be more helpful to give him Return, because his happiness is maxed out. And this guy, if you give him a Heart Scale, will allow any of your Pokemon to learn any of the moves that they would have learned via level up, which includes some of the moves that evolutions learn at level 1 they have no other way of learning. But I don't think I have any Heart Scales. This lady, if you have a Dragon type, will teach the most powerful Dragon type move in the game, Draco Meteor, which sharply lowers your special attack after use. And over here is a guy that will give you the elemental Hyper Beams, I'm pretty sure. So for instance, if we wanted to teach Crunch Hydro Cannon, we could. Any of the starters from the 1st gen to the 4th gen, he will teach them to, but only those 4, and will give them their respective Hyper Beams. Which are very strong elemental moves, but they require you to charge or recharge after use, so just like Hyper Beam. Why wasn't this sign anywhere in the beginning of the game, maybe? Anywhere would have been nice. Oh, hey, look, we haven't seen this Pokemon before. Dratini. Ah, it looks like Blackthorn City is known for its dragon types. No wonder why I mentioned it would be helpful to have ice moves here. And as you noticed, we might have passed before. The gym over here! Leader Claire, the blessed user of dragon Pokemon. Blessed? I don't think anyone besides herself would call her blessed. Unfortunately, we're not quite prepared to go yet, because we don't have enough time left in the episode, and I remember Mom gave us a call about picking up an item, so let's see if we get another thing like a choice scarf. I doubt it! Yachi berries! But, still cool to check. Let's see, do you have anything the other shops don't have? I have plenty of that stuff. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Any special type of balls we could buy, though? I could use some Dusk Balls. Yeah, plenty of Dusk Balls. Let's buy another... Let's buy 30 of them. Always good to have about 30 Dusk Balls on hand. Very helpful for catching legendaries later on. Just so I don't forget to buy stuff later. And let's see who's waiting for us here before we end things off. Anything useful? Yeah, we'll go in that cave a little bit later. Indigo Plateau in the Pokemon League. I guess that's the ultimate goal, but we'll have to wait to take on the gym next time. This is UniversalGiant, and I'll see you guys then.